Yo guys, Mystic here, and today we are doing a different kind of Skul video.
Nice!
Because I have been struggling to get a video out for you lot today. So you know what, I've gone ahead and just thought, you know what, it's a modded Skul run, so let's make it a modded Skul run.
I'm confused right now, G.
So we've got my favourite Skul here in Prisoner, and we've gone absolutely all out with probably the best run you can find on him. So we've got the legendary quintessence called Kiriz, which is a modded only quintessence, where you basically stop time for 4 seconds like Dio in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And you deal damage to enemies, and at the end of the timer, you do all the damage in a single kind of big hit of true damage. And for the items we've got double Chosen Hunter's Arrow, Thieves Black Steel Daggers, the Ring, Assassin's Dagger, Gunpowder Sword, Hope Slasher, Hunter's Wooden Longbow, and the Medal Box. So as you can see, we have got just an insanely OP run at the minute, just because I've never actually done a kind of run like this before, where you just get basically the best items in the game for one specific character.
Stop the cap!
I've gone with King because you guys know he is my absolute favourite, so there's basically no way we can lose this run. We are going to be storming through trying to get there as quickly as possible, because we are basically one-banging everybody, especially in Act 1 right now. But the idea is to try and get this guy upgraded to Legendary as quickly as possible, because you guys know, if you've played King before, you really need to get him upgraded nice and early, because he becomes so much better then. And there's no items that we're really going to want to be taking here, because we've got my good quintessence. All we are going to be worrying about is getting the bone fragments to allow me to upgrade this guy, because even our basics are literally like one-tapping everybody, which I should really expect that to happen, especially early game. And we're going to be taking the miracle drug here, opening the blue flask, swapping out Lil Skul for shield and him for alchemist. Also open out the red flask and swap gravy out. And if you guys did have any comments on what Skuls you would like me to run in, so if you want to see a really OP run like this, make sure to comment down a Skul of what you'd like. I'm guessing the priestess is just going to be dead here.
Know your place, trash.
Yeah, I mean, I would think so. And Thief Armor can get destroyed. We're up to, what now, 78 bone fragments, so very close to getting this guy upgraded. We might actually be able to do it just after the Yggdrasil fight, which would be very ideal for us. And basically, if we can keep our crit rates up, Gunpowder Sword should be able to proc and kill most people. I mean, especially when we get like Thieves Black Steel Daggers maxed out at the 40 stacks. Gunpowder Sword will just activate all the time. And then Chosen Hunter's Arrow, because we've got 2 of them and we've gone full kind of crit build with Thieves and the Assassin's Dagger, nothing's really going to be stopping us. I mean, we are doing like literally some insane damage at the minute. And 85 bone fragments, very close to getting this guy upgraded. Only need either 1 rare and a common, or if we can find a unique, that would also really help us out. We're going to be saving Kiriz until the second phase of Yggdrasil.
You smart.
Not like it's really gonna matter anyway. So let's open a green flask here. We'll let Skeleton Pike get destroyed. So all we need is 1 rare skull, and then we've got the King, which is really where you want him. You do want him to get him this early. So if you can just find 1 more skull room, that would really, really help us out. Otherwise, we'll be getting him just after the adventurer fight in Act 2, which is also not bad. But if we're doing a run like this, we want to get him early game, which is unfortunately not gonna happen. So we are onto the Yggdrasil fight. I mean, he's gonna die in all of 10 seconds, so let's go ahead and kill him.
Okay, let's go.
Now, this is most likely going to be a shorter video than usual, just because we probably are going to be killing bosses, like, insanely quickly, going through rooms way too quickly. I mean, he's already out of his first phase. Just a few basics ended up killing him. I think it will probably be slower to use Kiriz here, but you know what? I mean, he's probably just going to be dead at the end of the 4-second timer here, and there we go. That is the easiest Yggdrasil fight of my life. And if we open the chest here, what are we going to be getting? We will just go ahead, destroy the Silent Sword, and let's move on to the curses. Okay, so I did just want to interrupt today's video to say thank you for all the support we have been getting on the recent Skul videos. I'm going to try and hit 400 subscribers by the end of April, so if you are new here, make sure you do drop a like, subscribe, and let's get back into the build. I'm going to be picking up Go-Getter here, upgrading that, and we're also going to be picking up Weakness Exposure, because there was a comment down on the last episode to try this out, so I thought, you know what, it could really work on this build, so we're going to pick that up, and we can move on to Act 2 here. Unfortunately, cannot get this guy upgraded. but it should happen literally just before the adventurer fight. And then all I can really ask is that we find some curse chests, because then we'll be able to try and get wolf trap and the circular saw. They are probably the best 2 skills in the game for prisoner here, and you can obviously go for a magic prisoner run, but I just don't think it's as powerful.
I don't know, Jeff.
Compared to his physical counterpart, in my opinion, and I'm just a big physical fan anyway.
Nice.
So we do get the rare. We are going to be able to get this guy upgraded.
Oh, let's go! That's class!
But that doesn't mean we're not going to be taking Skul rooms still, because we do want to get his totems upgraded to get the maximum HP, and probably skill cooldowns is the one I'd go for after that. And we are just rushing our way through this build. We'll take the 20 bone fragments. We're also going to lock in our second misfortune, just to get that extra bit of crit rate, which also leads into more damage. Now let's open the blue flask. We'll swap Gravy out for Bomber and him for Sword, and let's move on. And this is actually my first time trying out the Kiri's quintessence, but from what I've seen and from what I can really tell from it, it should actually be a very good Quinn, mostly because you can kind of just neglect some of the fight against bosses and stuff like that. So if you're like a new player and you're really struggling, if this gets implemented into the game, it would actually be a very good addition to the quintessences, because if you're struggling on a fight with a hero per se, if you're doing loads of damage, you can just stop the fight for 4 or 5 seconds, deal tons of damage, and you've come off scot-free without taking a hit. So it is very, very good. We will be using it in this adventurer fight here to get the full kind of power of it. So let's activate it here. We'll just go for the slam, and both these guys should probably just be dead here. And is it going to end? Are they going to get one banged? Of course they are.
He's the best in the world.
And we're going to be destroying Froskull here. Let's move on, get prisoner upgraded into the king. And here we go, we have the king now, so we're going to want to get this guy upgraded with his totems. Want to get his health maxed out first, and then we can start moving on to his skill cooldowns. But we're really just trying to look for some curse chests to get us some even bigger damage than we've got already, and find some better weapons. We're really looking, like I said, for wolf trap and either the circular saw, because they are, like I said, my favorite too. And we do get a chest already. It's not exactly a curse chest. We're also just wanting to build up his cells to get them maxed out. And let's open the chest here. Just give us something good, will you? And the rainbow shield is certainly not it, so let's move on. If we're going to keep a shield, it will be the assault shield. That is my preferred one. The only other thing I could actually want from the chests is maybe the symmetrical lance,
Ball of foreshadowing.
because that for clearing rooms is absolutely exceptional. Probably one of the best skill for prisoner for actually just clearing rooms and not for killing bosses, because you can get guaranteed crits on every hit if you hit 2 enemies, I think, 2 or more enemies. So if you're doing a build like this where we've got like gunpowder sword, it really does work out extremely well. And let's move on to the shop here. Is going to be anything good? I mean, we'll open the random box. Glacial Breaker, I will surely take. We'll also take the Miracle Drug and the Miracle Drug of Preservation. And let's move on. Just trying to rush our way as quickly as possible to the sisters fight. Not like they're actually going to have a chance of killing us. I don't think any boss literally has a chance of killing us at the moment. Even the first hero.
Ooh, you're odd.
I mean, that is why you do runs like this, because they are just the most overpowered. But that also means they are the most fun, because when you break the game like this, especially the first time, it's a great feeling, I've got to say. And we do also get the Harpy Knight, which is a good pickup. It is just 2 free ticks in the totems, which I'm certainly not going to say no to. And let's see who we get. DP can get destroyed. Let's move on to the sisters. And for all the challenges these guys have caused, I'm going to show them what real power looks like. So let's go and kill them.
This is big brain time.
Okay, sisters, are you ready to get absolutely obliterated and bullied? Because I'm sure ready for it myself. All we need to wait for is one of them to come in, and that's already done 1k damage in a single hit. Really just waiting for the singular sister to come in and fight, because then we can get the mass amounts of damage off here. We'll go for the assault shield, and while she's waiting, let's just go for the big damage. She's already dead. I mean, I don't know what I'm expecting. We are going to be pulling off a Kiri's here just to go for the kill straight away on the second sister. So let's activate it here, drop a shield and a broadsword. Let's just get the basics in. Weakness exposure will also be doing some good damage, and she's just dead. That was a 5-second fight, and you've got to love it. I think carrying 'Kiri's around with this build really just make it just way too OP. and nothing in the chest here, so we will just go ahead, destroy the proof of fellowship. Now let's move on to the curses. We're going to be maxing out Go-Getter, and let's move on. We can put the rest of the bone fragments into our HP totem. Nearly got that maxed out. Just one more tick on that, and it will be all the way upgraded to the maximum, and then we will be moving on to the skill cooldowns and attack speed, because that'll really help our damage when we can just fire out broadswords like there is no tomorrow. And Frieza got a little bit more health than I would like there. I mean, he still gets basically one-tapped by most of our skills. Let's open the chest here. We'll just have to destroy the Hand of Glory now. What are you going to give us? Just give us one of the traps, please. And you know what? Light speed, we're going to replace for the assault shield. And let's move on. Light speed, certainly one of my favorites. It can really do a ton of damage, especially on the like big hordes of enemies. I'm guessing all these guys are going to be dead up there, so we can just move down to the alchemist. Light speed is going to finish him off. I will be collecting all these cells because they are very, very useful to us. Want to keep those stacks maxed out at 10. And let's move on to the bone room here. We do get another chest. Please just give us the one thing I am looking for in either the lance or the traps. And are you going to give me it? You are not. That is a cluster grenade, which is really just not good. And I am thinking of doing a Magic King run in the future. Obviously not right now, because Magic King, it is very good. It's just not my favorite. And let's take the miracle drug here. We'll also take the 10 bone fragments, and let's move on. And we do get another shot at a chest. And if you didn't know, King is like Ghoul in where you do not want to swap out, because you will lose all of your stacks on your cells, and you really don't want that. And there we go. We do find our wolf trap.
Thank you.
So let's replace the light speed, and all I can ask for now is that you give me the lance or the circular saws. And if you get the circular saws, this run is basically all good and finished. There is physically nothing else that I would want, and you can really kind of see the damage from wolf trap there, even though he wasn't living for too long anyway. I mean, our slams are basically just killing most people in here. It does also give you a bit of utility, wolf trap, because it does have the stun mechanic when people actually do land in it. So you can use it on like the big guy here, just trap a wolf trap on him and he just dies. So let's open the chest here, and what we're going to give Ryder will destroy you. The carbine can also get destroyed. We're going to be moving on to the adventurers, and all three of these guys aren't going to be lasting any kind of time, so let's dodge through that. Before he goes and actually attacks us, we can go ahead, just get wolf trap in there, go for the basics. Unfortunately, we can't hit the lady up top, and we didn't actually do too much there, mostly because our wolf trap didn't actually activate and kill them, but our basics are just going to kill them anyway. And the warrior's gloves can get destroyed. And if you guys didn't know, you can't actually do a crit build with Kiris, because it all comes out at true fixed damage at the end, so you can't actually get like procs like gunpowder sword and stuff like that hitting, or else it'd really be way too OP. And it is also kind of cancel out because it has a very, very long timer in 108 seconds, so you really cannot use it in like every room. It is a quintessence you really want to save for your bosses and your hero fights, and if you're kind of struggling and there's like a 20 million enemies in the room, you can use it to save your life. Now let's open the ominous chest. Nothing good in here, so we'll destroy the sword of chaos and move on. Now I could have gone and got the sun and moon omen. I can't remember what it's actually called because I've only used it once, but that would have actually left one item slot free, so I didn't want to take the chance and get something really bad and keep that slot open. I'd rather just go for like the basic good old crit build with him, which is way too good. And let's open the chest here. Are we going to get anything good here? We are not. It's going to be the sonic carbine again, and we're really not finding any cursed chests. I feel like it's kind of been nerfed quite a lot because I just never seem to find them anymore. I'm going to take the miracle drug here, take the 10 bone fragments, and let's move on. You used to find cursed chests every like 3 rooms back in the day, and now I feel like you're finding them, what, once or twice every run, if that. And we've got a few enemies left. Luckily, nobody can do anything to actually hurt us, so let's just blow all these guys up, take the money, go on to the next item room. And if you are wondering why I have the medal box instead of another item, it's because I couldn't actually think what to put in that final 9th slot. So I thought, I mean, medal box, it's not exactly a bad item, especially if you get it like from the very beginning, and it gives us that little bit of extra courage. So let's open the chest here again, and it does give me the lance.
That's pretty good.
So we're going to replace that for the broadsword, and we're going to be critting literally every single time now with this lance, except from the first one, of course, because you cannot, or you don't get a guaranteed crit on that, should I say. everybody. So as you can see, because we've hit a few enemies, we do get the guaranteed crit on it, which means we also get the gunpowder prop, but it is not a very good weapon to use on bosses because you obviously can't get the guaranteed crit because you're fighting one dude. But we are on the Chimera fight here. He's gonna be dying in, what, maximum 15 seconds, so let's go kill him.
Okay, let's go.
And I'm not going to be doing these kind of runs all the time. I'm only doing it now because like I said, I had a really hard time actually trying to find a run and beat the game for you lot. And did Kiri's literally just not even activate then? What was that? We can actually try and get a guaranteed crit and hit a few enemies. It doesn't look like we did, but it doesn't matter because Chimera is just going to be dead here. And there we go. Bit strange with Kiri's. I really thought it would activate, but I'm guessing it just doesn't for some reason. So let's destroy the approaching there and let's move on. And we are going to be buying Soul Strike, upgrading that, and we can move on to Act 4. But first we're going to be trying to max out this skill cooldown totem. Only need 30 more bone fragments to get that maxed out, which is really quite nice. We'll probably be able to activate Wolf Trap every, what, 5 seconds now, something like that. And obviously getting the attack speed higher is going to be proccing Gunpowder Sword a lot more and getting Thieves Battle Daggers up a lot quicker. But we're just going to be flying through these rooms. Look, Symmetrical Lance, if I hit more than one enemy, would have actually done more there and got us that guaranteed crit. Let's just stick a Wolf Trap down, go for the Symmetrical Lance to kill everybody. And even the Executioners, they're just not standing a chance.
Know your place, trash.
I mean, I don't know what I'm really expecting because nobody's going to have the HP to actually be able to stop this. So let's move on. Just trying to make our way to that final adventurer as quick as possible just so we can go ahead and get the medal box nice and maxed out. And once we get that maxed out, we should be getting an even bigger buff from our physical damage. And Prisoner actually has been nerfed since one of the last times we used them. I mean, excuse me, ignore me. It was from quite a while ago. You basically used to be able to get a lot more cells from enemies. Like, I think it was just like an unlimited amount. There wasn't a cap on it. But right now there is a certain cap of cells that you can get from enemies, because otherwise if you're using a symmetrical lance you used to be able to get like hundreds of cells and max out your stacks basically immediately. You can't do that anymore, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now let's take the 10 max life and let's move on. We should be fighting the adventurers anytime soon, and if you have not done a run like this and you have modded Skul, I would highly recommend it. I wouldn't do it all the time because this is only going to be really a kind of like one-off for me, because I could just not get a run right. I couldn't beat the game and actually find something decent for you lot, but it's nice and fun every now and again, like I said. And let's open the chest here. Are you going to give me my circular saw? You are not, so let's move on. If we do get the circular saw, my game plan will kind of change and we'll have to go by predicted pain, because Soul Strike obviously won't work on that because it hits multiple times instead of just the singular hit like the wolf traps. And we'll destroy Kiri in here. That could have also been the final item that I took, which I'm actually very surprised I didn't. I really should have, actually, now I'm thinking about it, especially since Kyrian used to be my favorite legendary in the game back in the day, but it has just kind of lost some use now because of the likes of Hope Slasher and all the new items in the game. And this really does not want to give me a curse chest, which is kind of annoying because it does give you that extra bonus damage. And who are we going to be fighting? Is it going to be the archer? It's not. It's going to be the warrior, who I actually kind of wanted to fight because he does have the most HP, so it should be a very fun fight here. Let's just get the weakness exposure stacked up on him. Just make sure we're dealing some big damage with the basics. And he took a lot of damage there. Is he going to get stuck in the wolf traps? No, he's just going to be moving it along. Okay, I've never seen that before. It is kind of strange, but it's not exactly too bad, as we can still just kill this guy pretty much immediately. We'd also be getting the hits off. Is he going to die here from a wolf trap? No, he's just going to move him out of the way and he should be dead. Took more hits than I would have liked. We could have probably done that hitless, but it doesn't exactly matter. So let's put the remaining bone fragments into the skill cooldowns and we can move on to the attack now. If we can somehow get that maxed out, I would really appreciate it, game, but it doesn't really matter if we don't. And still no curse chest, which is unfortunate, but we will go ahead and check this anyway. And the powerful grenade is not what I wanted. There is only one thing I want, and you know what it is, game, so just go ahead and give it me. Make this run literally the best it could have been. So let's take the money, move on to the Skul room. Now, I know some of you might have been saying that Troll would have probably been a better pick for a quintessence, and I am probably agreeing with you there, but having Kiriz, it's a new quintessence. I haven't used it. It's literally a mod only, so I thought it could be quite fun to actually use and try out, and that's why I've got it, because it's something a little bit different, and Yaksha can get destroyed. We just want to be keeping our HP nice and maxed out for the Chimera fight, whenever that is actually gonna be coming. And we do get another chest, but it's still not gonna be a cursed one, so let's go ahead, open this up. The Sonic Carbine for the third time showing up. I'm still not gonna pick you up, and here it is. It's the Shard of Darkness. That's what I was forgetting. Never really used it, so I'm not a giant fan of the weapon. I mean, it is very good, I know it is, but if you get it upgraded at King Slime early enough, you're already sat on 2 Omen, which halves your health, and you're basically already taking an extra, what, 30% amplified damage on top of that. So even though you do get like that little bit of revive and the really big damage boost from it, it doesn't always go to plan. We got the final few enemies here. Luckily, the symmetrical lance is just going to be able to plow through literally all of them. That's why you can see it is extremely good for horde killing. And we'll take the 10 bone fragments here. We'll also take the Miracle Drug of Rage and move on. We should be fighting Joan any time soon. I'm guessing within the next kind of like 3 rooms or something. And let's open the ominous chest. Nothing good, so we'll move on to the Skul room. And we do get a chest room, which is literally insignificant for us right now because there is no items that I want to swap out. So we're going to ignore it, see who we get. Predator can get destroyed, and we are onto the Chimera fight. Now, she is literally probably going to die in about 5 seconds. So let's go ahead and show the power of this build.
Okay, let's go.
Hello, Joe and my friend. How are you doing? You really don't even need to get up out of your seat right now because we're probably just going to kill you in, what, 10 seconds if we can get your totems destroyed nice and quickly. And this first one on the right should be dead after a few more basics. We can move over to the one on the left-hand side. Didn't even use any wolf traps right there. So let's make our way up. We're going to be starting off by throwing down a wolf trap. Let's activate Kiriz here. Go for the symmetrical lance. And if we didn't fall off there, she probably would have taken a lot more damage than she is going to right now. But she's going to be dead in all of 2 seconds. And we'll throw a wolf trap down. She is dead. Probably the easiest Joan fight of my life. And let's open the chest. We can just go ahead and destroy the Archbishop's scriptures. And let's make our way up to the final curse room. We're going to be picking up Soul Strike. And you know what? We might as well just take Kingslayer here. And we can get this final totem nice and maxed out. So we've got all 3 totems maxed out. We've got the best items that we could find. All that I really want to find is a single curse chest or a normal chest to get rid of the symmetrical lance for something better. Because it's not really going to work for us in the hero fight. And is there anything in the shop I want? There is actually the Shadow Knights, which, you know what, I might actually just go ahead and buy instead of Kiriz, because I don't think it's really working for this build, so we can just let it get destroyed. Move on here. And if you guys have enjoyed this episode and you do want to help support the channel, make sure to drop a like on today's video, subscribe if you are new here, and there will be a link down in the description to all my other Skul videos, and the link to the playlist, and there will also be a link down in the description to my Discord. And we've got the final chest, so let's give it an open. Please just give me the circular saws. The double crossbow matic, I don't think it's worth it, so we'll just leave that there. And for the run we have got, we've gone for the King with the Shadow Knight's Quintessence. We've got double Hunter's Arrow for the big increase in our physical damage and crit rate. And to pair with that, we've gone for Thieves and Gunpowder Sword with the Assassin's Dagger. Really all just to help his crit damage and rate. We've also gone for Hunter's One and Longbow for the utility and the crit damage. The Ring for the increased physical HP and the increased crit damage, or crit rate should I say. And then Metal Box and Hope Slasher are just there for a little bit of courage and physical attack. And we've gone for Go-Getter to increase our Gunpowder Sword damage, weakness exposure because I just wanted to try it out, why not? Soul Strike for the damage on our symmetrical lance, and Wolf Trap and Kingslayer just to finish off the bosses even quicker. Now this is a extremely broken build, so let's go ahead and show what it is to Dad.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, Dad, how are you doing, my friend? I don't think you're going to be lasting, like, any kind of time. Just step in my wolf traps here, will you, please, sir? Are you going to move over to the right-hand side at all? It doesn't look like it. You are going to get stunned twice, and then we can go for the big damage here. I will just literally face tank you if I have to. That's certainly not a problem for me. He's already out of his first phase. I mean, we're probably going to do this run hitless unless we take a little bit of stupid damage. But if this second phase of the hero just sits still for about 10 seconds, he probably will just go ahead and actually die. Really unfortunate that we couldn't get the circular sword, and there we go, we took a little bit of stupid damage from the wolf trap stun there, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. And we're just going to be moving out the way here of the first hero. Let's just get in the big damage here. I will literally just face tank you because you certainly can't do anything about it. So let's chuck a wolf trap, we'll activate the Shadow Knights, go for the basics, and it looks like you are just going to be dying here, sir. So guys, if you did enjoy the most broken build in all of Skul the Hero Slayer, make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you are new here, and click the video in the top left to see any other Skul videos, and click the video in the top right to see a playlist of all the Skul runs I've done. This has been Mystic, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.